Hi friends, Hattie with Honeybee Stampers here for our happy hour. It is Wednesday, November 8th, and it's 3 o'clock. And so I'm hopping on live on my Facebook business page, but I always upload this to YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube, hello, welcome. I've got a really cute card for you. We're gonna create this little moose card here. I just think he's so darling. But the fun thing for today is we're going to use Stampin' blends, and we are going to be using some enamel effects. So I feel like enamel effects are a little tool or a little embellishment here that maybe gets overlooked sometimes. So I'm going to kind of highlight those today in our video. Hopefully you guys can all join me live. And if you are watching live, let me know, say hi. Last week when we did happy hour, I lost my volume. For some reason at the end of the video, there was no volume. So if that happens again, let me know. I'll be so grateful to know that. And so if you're watching live, say hi. And if you're watching the replay, say hi as well. I always love to see that. Let me know where you're watching from too. That's always great. Okay, so after the video today, I do have a couple more samples using this stamp set. So the stamp set we're featuring today is called Festive and Fun, and it's a line image stamp set Christmas card. And I actually designed this class for a demonstrator retreat that I did. And so if you happen to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I know a lot of you joined with that awesome special that we just had, then you're gonna want to know more about this retreat that we have coming up in April. It'll be the last weekend in April, and we will offer a to-go option as well. Okay, so let's get started. I want to show you where you can find this in the catalog. So if you're curious, you want to mark this on your catalog. Here's the front of the catalog here. And then on page, oops, that's not it. On page 13 of this catalog, right here on the right-hand side, you're going to see Festive and Fun. It's a $26 stamp set. It's so adorable. I saw it and I knew I had to do something with it, even though my style isn't typically to do a lot of line art. I find it challenging, but these cards came out really cute. Okay, so I already have my card pieces, and I will, of course, send an email with measurements. I'm behind in my emails. I'm behind in life right now, I feel like, but I'm working on getting caught up, so just hang in there with me. All right, let's see. We're going to fold this card base in half, and I'm using crumb cake today. I've got a little helper in the studio with me. My little guy is here with me, so hopefully he'll keep himself busy over there on his side of the room. So we shall see. And then I did actually already stamp this, and so there's that, but I'll color it in for us today. So we've got this, and oh, shoot, I completely forgot about these two pieces. I actually need to cut them. All right, hold on one second. So the designer series paper that I'm using here is from the One Horse Open Sleigh Pack, which you're probably more than familiar with, right? These are all the images that you probably see a lot, okay? Especially that cute little deer right there. Well, for this class, I decided to do the other side and kind of feature some of the non-scenic side. I can't flip it over there. So we're going to use this piece for sure, and then we're going to also use this piece. And you'll see that I've used some of the other patterns on the other cards. I just completely forgot that I hadn't cut this. So let me grab my paper trimmer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so when I do a class now, especially if they have to cut the paper themselves, I've been doing these little cheat sheets here to help me. So for the rest of the cards that I'm going to show with you a little bit later, these are kind of the measurements that I've used and the different patterns. So let's go ahead and cut this one down. So this paper comes 6 by 6, but you're going to cut this down to 4.5 by 2, and I want to kind of, there's a little bit of a pattern on here. It doesn't really make that big of a difference, but we'll put it this way and cut this at 2 inches. And then we'll cut again at 4.5. hopefully you guys all have paper trimmers. If you are a new crafter and you are looking for a paper trimmer, I highly recommend ours. It is a great, great tool. Okay, now here's the other one. We're gonna do this one at 2.5. And then 4 inches. There we go. When you're using, so I've got these two done, and I'm just gonna layer them like this. It's gonna go on top of the card. I'll assemble in just a minute. I'm gonna move on to the coloring portion. So when you use Stampin' Blend, you always wanna use a Memento black ink with the alcohol markers. Okay, so when you're watercoloring, you want to kind of go towards the tuxedo black, which is our well, wait a minute, this is tuxedo black, the StazOn black when you're doing watercoloring. All right, so with our alcohol markers, I decided to go with a light crumb cake for our little moose here. And actually, before I do that, let me grab some petal pink. And I want to do a little petal pink on his nose. So when you're adding the color onto your project, you just barely touch the paper with the alcohol marker. Like that. Okay, those are really the only two that I did petal pink. And then what I've found lately is I've actually really liked, let me see if this is the color I want. Yeah. I've really liked kind of coloring in the middle. When I first was using the alcohol markers, I would color the outside and then I would go in and shade in the inside. But I have found as I've been playing with it that I really actually like coloring the middle part first and then going and doing the outline. Don't know why, it just seems like it's turning out better for me that way. And then we're gonna do a little bit on the ears. I love these alcohol markers so much. So we're gonna just color in his pants here and just down the center of his leg. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in and do the outline. And of course you could do a lot more shading with this. Right now I'm using a light crumb cake, but you could go back over it with a dark crumb cake if you wanted to give it a little bit more detail, or you could even go right back over it with the same color, and you'll see that it adds a little bit of definition right over as you layer the same color on top of each other. And I would do that a couple times. Okay, so there's that. He's turned out so cute. And then for the ink color, I decided to do Pool Party. I feel like this is, I think this is Coastal Cabana, but we don't have a Coastal Cabana Stampin' Blend, and so I used Pool Party, and it kind of was close enough that it worked. So I'm gonna do the middle part of his sweater like that, and then I'm gonna go around the edges again. So completely opposite of how I've done it in the past. And if I had more time, I'd really actually keep layering on the colors. Okay, go around his neck again. Okay, I wonder if you guys can hear my son's, he's watching a cartoon right now, and hopefully it's not interrupting with my live streaming too. All right, so this Pool Party light, that tip is really kind of mutilated. So it's a little bit dry if you can see it. Now, you can use the bullet tip if you wanted to as well. But when I am using my markers, I always try to remind people to just go really light, like almost no pressure. Is this dark? Oops, yeah, I did dark again. I wanted light. I'm gonna lighten that up. So almost no pressure on the tip, right? So that you can kind of keep the integrity of the tip nice and perfect. All right, so now this one is light Pool Party, and because the other tip is a little bit, maybe this is just dry in itself. Okay, that's a little dry. I'll have to go get another one. So we'll just use the dark up here, and then I'll use the, what is this called? This is the color lifter. So if you make a mistake, you can use the color lifter to remove that little spot. So like right here, I kind of colored outside of his shirt. So I'll apply a little bit of the color lifter there, and it'll start to lighten that area up and then remove it completely. Now, because I wanted the collar of his sweater to be lighter than the actual sweater, you can also use the color lifter to lift some of the color off, and you'll see that that'll start to lighten up as it dries. So there's that. We do have one little, oh, nope, that's his arm. I was gonna color his arm blue. So let's get this little guy colored with a crumb cake right there. I always have to look, light crumb cake. Now I'm gonna take the darker crumb cake, and I'm gonna do his antlers. I think he's a moose. I don't know, maybe he's not a moose. You guys have to let me know if he's not a moose. He looks like a moose to me, and he's so cute. All of these little critters are adorable. Okay, there's that. And then we're gonna color on this side. And so you can see those two different shades, like his body and his face and everything are in the light crumb cake, and then the antlers are in the dark crumb cake. So it's just such a stark difference, right? You can tell that difference there, but it makes it perfect when you're coloring. We'll make his tail crumb cake, dark crumb cake, and his little hooves. Okay, I want to color lift again, just this little spot right here. So when I color lift, I'll put that on there, let it dry, and then I'll go back and add another layer of that color lifter. We'll color his hooves down here. I find that this watercoloring, even though it takes a while, or not watercoloring, this using Stampin' blends takes a while, it actually is really relaxing. I find it fun. Oh, hi Kathy. Hi Franny. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate that. Now I'm gonna take, and this is real red, and I'm just gonna color, oops, very lightly, these little, what I'm gonna say are berries on this fruit cake. Okay. And then I'm going to color in the rest of the fruit cake with the light crumb cake again. Okay. There we go. Oh, we need a little green, which I didn't grab. Let me fix his leg down here. This is the light crumb cake still, and you can see that I'm layering it on over the light crumb cake that I'd done earlier on his face. Okay, now let me grab a green one. That one's too dark. Okay, I grabbed a light old olive for these little, ooh, look at the tip of that one, yikes. Okay, we're going to use the nib part of it to just color these in. You have a little more control when you use the nib. All right, so now our guy is done. He's so cute, so adorable. I love it. And that's how that's gonna go. And let me do some more stamping here. So we've got this sentiment on here that says, a little something for you with lots of love for me. And I'm just going to, I'm gonna ink it up and heat emboss it in white, but I just want those that first sentence pretty much. So let me grab a piece of scrap paper. If you, when you're heat embossing, if you want to use an embossing buddy, you can. Sometimes I do, a lot of times I don't, because I'm like rushing. You need Versamark ink, so this one right here. And some white embossing powder. I store my embossing powder in these bins. You can find these bins. TJ Maxx, Amazon, anywhere. I like to put them in these bins because I find it the easiest. I like doing it this way versus like dumping the powder and shaking it off. So I like to shimmy and shake. So we're gonna ink up the sentiment. I don't need that whole sentiment, but just for ease, I'll go ahead and stamp it. Okay. And then we're going to shimmy and shake. So you see that embossing powder never really comes out of the bucket, which helps to keep it contained. Okay, then once you've done that, flip it over and you flick it off. There you go. I didn't use an embossing buddy and it seemed to work just fine. Let's put this on. We'll put our lid on here so I don't dump that. And then I'm just gonna go step to the side and heat emboss this with our heat tool. Okay, so if you are new to stamping and you're wondering like, well, what did she mean by step off to the side and heat emboss it? Please drop a comment and let me know. A lot of times I forget that I'm maybe not talking to people who are new. And so I just kind of keep going about my business and somebody might be confused on the other end, and I do not want that to be the case. So we're going to apply this right on here. I'm going to eyeball so that there's a little layer on top and bottom, about 1/4 of an inch, I'd say. This layer right here is dry embossed with the painted textures, I believe. And I love dry embossing paper the same color and then putting it on a card base that's the same color. It just looks so good to me. Now we're going to add this on right to the center, and I've got 3 more cards to show you. I'm not going to make them, but I'll show the finished cards with this stamp set and how adorable they are. Okay, so there's that. Make sure it opens the right way. Yep. And then for this one, we're going to actually pop him up. But before we do that, let me stick this on. We're going to take, and I'm just going to use my paper snips. These are great scissors. I'm just going to snip straight across here. Need to be able to see a little better. And then try to get it as straight as possible across this way. Okay, a little. Something, and we'll snip off this excess here. Kind of cut off that G, but that's okay. A little. Okay. And then for you, let's snip right here, right there. And I'm not going to use dimensionals to put this on, but I did want it to kind of stand up off the paper just a smudge, and I found that using glue dots did that. So I guess I could put this on. Let me put this on with some dimensionals. Yes, be aware that our alcohol markers always bleed through. So you want to make sure you're coloring it on some kind of surface that can support that. There we go. You guys will have to let me know who has this stamp set, Festive and Fun. And did you fall in love with it when you saw it like I did? I think it's so cute. So I'm going to pop him up. I used our stylish shapes to cut out this little square. So you have to have stylish shapes. Have to have it in your arsenal. I use it all the time. Use them all the time. So a little. I'm just going to grab one of these glue dots off of here. And then something. We'll do 2 of these so that it's even. Can't wait to put on the enamel dots to show you guys how cute those are. I'm gonna just kind of make that offset a little bit. And then for you, I just really need one for this one. a little something for you. There we go. That is so cute. Now let's make it cuter. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got these pearlized enamel effects, and you can find this in the annual catalog. So let me show you where you can find that. You can always shop online. I'll always link my online store, so you can click over there and then just type in enamel effects if you want to. But if you're shopping from a catalog like this is our annual catalog. On page 137, it may have been missed, but up here you're going to see our enamel effects. So we've got the pearlized that come in black, red, and white, which is what I have. And then you've got the actually metallic, which is gold, copper, and silver. And oh my gosh, those are gorgeous too. Okay, so this is the one that I have, enamel effects. And I'm going to start with the pearlized one. So this is pearl, I think I said pearlized enamel effects. There's pearlized, there's red, and there's black, and they're enamel effects. So not pearlized enamel effects. If I misspoke there. All right, so then I'm gonna just start to squeeze the tiniest bit of it out. Oopsie, I went in a spot I didn't wanna go. Let me scoop some of that off of there. It's almost like using nail polish, like a thicker nail polish. And I'm just gonna glaze this fruitcake with the pearlized one. It's so cute when you see it in person. Okay, there we go. You can kind of move it around to fill in the spots, add a little bit more. All right, and then as it sits and settles a little bit, it'll smooth out a little more. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I am putting way too much on here. Getting excited with all this frosting. All right, there. We'll just leave that. And then I'm going to, instead of putting some embellishments on here, I'm actually going to use the red. So I'll do a little drop. So start to squeeze it and then find the spot where you want it to go. Okay. And there. I kind of felt like tapping it a little bit afterwards helped it to smooth out, because when you first pull it off of there, it kind of puts like a little tip on there. It makes it look like a boob almost. So if you don't want that, then you want to tap it off. Tap it a little bit so it settles and it's nice and round. And then we'll do one more right here. And you can make them as little or as big as you like. Okay. So there, that just really adds to that card, I think. Now, I ended up not letting this one dry completely before I put my cellophane over it. I always put a clear envelope on it to protect it when I'm taking it to class. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's kind of flattened out a little bit here. And I think that looks great too. It flattened out really well, actually. So it looks like little discs instead of little baubles like this. Okay. All right, so that's it. I wanted to show you this adorable card. I really wanted to highlight the enamel effects in case you had missed this, especially the pearlized, the what are they called? The metallic ones. You're going to want those because if you ever want to add copper or silver, or gold to a project, that's a really quick and easy way to do it. Now let me show you a couple other projects with this. So here is the Festive and Fun stamp set again. We got this cute rhino and the giraffe, and then this little guy. So here's this one. So for this card, I actually fussy cut out this tree that was with the giraffe to add to this card. And then again, same thing happened with these little enamel effects. I put the clear envelope on them and it pressed them down. I still really like the way that looks. So there's that one. And then we have this guy. This was really fun to color. So I colored it all in, and then I used the pearlized on his hat. And then I used, instead of coloring in the little ornaments, I used the red enamel effects for that. And I just kind of swirled it on and tried to make it flat so it wasn't kind of standing up, and it just made some really great little ornaments there. Love that card. And then here is another card. So again, I used, as you can see here, the paper that I used on here is the other side of that one horse open sleigh, which is so popular. But I love the colors on the other side, so I really wanted to feature it. I love this DSP right here. It looks like a lot of trees, and this rhino is having a good old time. So just kind of fussy cut him out and popped him up. And again, so this is the black. This is what they call the black enamel effects, but it looks more of like a silver gray to me, actually, but it works. So that's why I went with that color. So that was really fun to create those cards and put those together for the event that we had. And we actually, if you are a demonstrator, and we have 2 extra kits, not with these cards, but with our main class. And I'll do a whole video on that. I'll try to remember to do that soon if you're interested in purchasing that. So I will be sharing more information about that later. Okay, let me see. I do want to share a couple other things. We've got some new online exclusives now. I stuck them somewhere and now I can't find them. We have some online exclusives that I wanted to share with you guys. Oy vey. Maybe I'll have to do another video for that. But I do have one more project to show you. So at our team meeting, we did a virtual team meeting last week. I showed them, we do mystery stamping, so I wanted to show a little card that I created. And so here are the 2 different versions of the card. And then it's always a fun fold. So when we do our team mystery stamping challenges, we always do a fun fold, and I walk them through it from start to finish. And it's a really fun opportunity for us to craft together. So I wanted to share that with you because they turned out so cute. Let me just look over here really quick and see if I have these. You know how it is when you set something down and you're like, I want to put this here because I don't want to lose it. And then as soon as I turn the video camera off, I'm going to, oh, there it is. Hold on. And actually, I think I'm remembering that I did share these already before, but we've got even more online exclusives that are available right now if you go shopping online. So here is the Be My Valentine set. This is actually going to be a stamp set that we're using. It's an early release product for demonstrators only. It's coming out in the new catalog that's going to go live in January. We're going to get to use it on Saturday because we have a convention on Saturday. That's a virtual convention. And then there's the punch that coordinates with it. And then you guys may have seen this one already. This is Heartfelt Hexagon. That one's really fun. And the punch that coordinates with it looks like this. The Garden Meadow, this one, oh, we got 2 of those. This one is a beautiful stamp set. Again, it's a lot of line art, which, like I said before, is kind of intimidating to me. But once I get my Stampin' Blends out and I'm able to color, the coloring is so easy with Stampin' Blends, and so it takes that kind of intimidation away. And then it's got this beautiful thing right here. It's got beautiful paper too with it. Who knows where I put that paper? Okay, and then we've got Fluffiest Friends. And then here are the dies that go with it. I am remembering that I had shared this before, but we've got a couple other things. Some new ribbon that's available. And this one, I think this one might actually be sold out and it'll be coming back. It's the adhesive back dragonflies and birds. Very pretty. They're flat gold. And then we've got these pretty embellishments, the hearts and flowers. And then this is a really cool shape. I love 3D items. And this is a like a pillow box. And I can't wait to put it together and decorate it and have fun with it and share with you guys what I come up with. Okay, so let me move all this stuff out of the way. I appreciate you guys hopping on Wednesday to hang out with me today. I hope you enjoyed that card. Let me bring it back in. Hopefully I won't mess it up. Well, let me bring this one in so I don't accidentally put something on top of that and mess the enamel up. But here's the stamp set, Festive and Fun. Don't miss it. It's so cute. It's so fun. If you find that there's some things that you would love on my online store, here is the host code for this month. And if you have any questions or need any help, reach out to me and let me know. All right, guys, I will see you guys next Wednesday. Hi, Angela. Good to see you on here. I'll see you guys next Wednesday for another happy hour, and I'm leaning towards doing some more fall cards since we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving coming up pretty soon. And also the Christmas card club for in person. Let me pull up the date here. It's featuring Marius Trees, and it is going to be on the 28th, I believe. My calendar won't come up on my computer. There it is. Okay, so it's on Tuesday, the 28th of this month, and I've got Sweet and Simple card class on Saturday, the 18th. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. All right, take care. Have a great day, guys. Thanks, Franny. Thanks, Kathy. Bye.